YouTube, fellow brothers and sisters, fragrance enthusiasts. So we have zero views right now, and that shows you how popular I really am. We're still at zero, but nevertheless, I should start. There's some things that I wanted to kind of put light on, and one of them things is that I was just watching a video from Seldomly Often, and he was doing a video about 3 months and 2 months ago. That was Attar's first impression. There was something that he was disappointed about, and sometimes disappointments are caused because we walk in with either being misled or having kind of misconceptions. The misconception that I think he had, or he was being told, was that Athars are massive projectors. Uh, on the contrary, if he's watching this video, if he ever watches this video, or anybody who's watching this video, of course live, we have zero viewers right now, but whenever you do watch this video, go in with the right expectations. So let me break this down for you. The way I see it is that EDTs, eau de toilettes, colognes actually are the lightest and most ethereal, and kind of are thin in the air, and so they have an initial projection like none other, but the longevity on them is like crap because they're thin. They're really thin, and they don't last as long. After the colognes come the eau de toilettes. So the longevity on eau de toilettes, with the colognes, you might get about 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe. For me, within an hour or 2 hours, I need to respray if I'm doing colognes. I don't do colognes. Eau de toilettes can last 3 to 6 hours depending on what perfume you're referring to and what age the eau de toilette comes from, because a few of the eau de toilettes that I've experienced, like say from the 70s or 80s rather, even up to the 90s, I think a perfect example would be Heritage by Guerlain. They do last longer than the eau de toilettes that are available in the market nowadays. Then would come your eau de parfums. That would be about an 18% up to an 18% concentration or less actually. Eau de toilettes would probably be up to 8% concentrations, 8 to 10% maybe. Eau de parfums up to 15, maybe 18% concentrations are considered eau de parfums, and then parfums and extracts, and then the Athars. So let me break this down for you. So eau de parfums that last you 6 to 8 hours, probably last a bit longer with the modern synthetics that all the houses are using to increase the longevity of the fragrances, or those damning amber woods that they use that project massively, and then they keep knocking. I mean, they keep hitting you hard all throughout the weight of the fragrance. You have then, like I said, the parfums, which are slightly more concentrations. They sit closer to the skin. They don't radiate as much because the concentration is more, the oil concentration is more. Extracts are even more. Extracts could actually go on for a week on your clothes. Say, for example, I mean, I had the experience with Francesca Bianchi's fragrances. They have extracts. They are extracts rather. She uses, I guess, a lot of naturals, and I've seen that a shirt that I sprayed Byzantine amber with, including others. I've done Dark Side. I've done the Black Knight, Lover's Tale, Lost in Heaven. All these Francesca Bianchi's, if you spray your clothes with them, forget it. I mean, till the time they're washed and they come back to you, the smell just won't go. Yeah. So those extracts I can swear by. So extracts would last immensely long, especially if you were to spray your garments with it. We do here in the United Arab Emirates. We spray. I usually spray the back of my neck. I spray here. I used to spray behind my ear, like so, here on the neck. on both places at the back of my head. And then I'd shower my garments with about 12 to 16 sprays straight off, no matter what the concentration was. But the point I was trying to make, and I would like to clarify seldomly, often if he watches this video ever, is that the extracts would last immensely long, but then due to the concentration would not project as much. Unless, again, you're using the modern day synthetics that the bigger houses are pushing for the projection and other things. Besides that, atars, you need to understand, have no alcohol mixed in them. Yeah, they're just pure oil. I mean, extracts could be 28, 30%, say for example. These are 100% mostly naturals. Atars have mostly naturals. They don't have these synthetic chemicals that push the fragrances or the sillage as much, but they sit heavy on the skin and they last you like 24 24 hours probably if you kind of spritz them in the right place, if you like spread them in the right place. And then there's the activation process that a lot of people have myths about. Some of the people have these dancing moves where you twist your arms in a particular way or to activate the attar. No, that's not the fact. You just need to ever so slightly, maybe just or kind of gently rub where your attars are. They could be. I usually like kind of put a thick layer of attar right here, and then I kind of go like that and like that, and but ever so slightly and gently. Yeah, I wouldn't really kind of rub the attar harsh. It's a very gentle process. So then I have like kind of my forearms covered. So I'd go like this because I do put the attars in my palm, and then I go like that and like that. So I've covered most of like my arm. And if it is the attar, you have these dabbers which you can go behind your ear and then kind of slightly spread them over, and probably at the back of your head where you can just slightly kind of rub that over, and then maybe your chest area so you get a good spread. And whoever comes to meet you in your close quarters like kind of hugs you. And in us Pakistanis and United Arab Emirates, we used to hugging. Yeah, so we hug each other, and then the guy's like, oh, that's intense, what is it? And that's the way you apply attars. But the going in with the right expectations, so attars will sit closer to you. As I explained, these are just concentrates, oil concentrates of mostly naturals. That's the attars that I'm into. So I do have an attar from one of the artisan niche, if you want to call them artisan niche houses, and it has these grains of the deer musk, and it's called musk tonkin, and it's the raunchiest animalic musk kind of attar that I've experienced in the recent years. But the point of making this video was, number one, I was watching seldomly often, and he expressed his disappointment in the fact that they didn't project or radiate as much. We need to understand these are all naturals. They are not mixed with these modern day synthetics that kind of push the envelope and kind of push the projection in sillage. I think Ambroxan, I'm not sure if it's one of them, ISOE Super, they kind of help the projection. So if it's a fragrance that's not projecting as much, you can probably spray the molecule 1 Ambroxan or ISOE Super or any of the centric molecules, and then probably push your attar, so it might help with the projection a bit. I'm not sure if that'll happen because I have not tried the essential molecules or the molecular fragrances as such, and I do not like most of those amber woody compositions that kind of keep banging for like 8 hours, and it's a completely nauseating affair which I do not want to get into. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this live video is that I saw Seldomly Often's video, and I wanted him to enjoy the attar experience. Yes, there is a ritual involved in wearing the attar. It's a little more time consuming, but once you get used to it, and probably layer your fragrances with your attars, I mean, to get the best of both the worlds. They would not radiate or project as much, but then they would extend the life of the other fragrances that you're wearing, or accentuate a few of the other nuances, the other fragrances. And if the other fragrances have oud and you are wearing an oud, or if you're wearing incense, a perfume with an incense, and you're wearing the incense rory kind of datar from Amwaj, that might accentuate and help the projection a bit. Besides that, like I said, another part that inspired me to do this live is that I haven't been doing any videos of recently. Taking a little downtime. I wasn't feeling right in my head. I didn't want to kind of do another video. I don't know why that is. I do know why that is, but it's okay. It's besides the point. So here I am doing a live session because I just got my hands on Sadnaso. And if you haven't watched the ad for Sadnaso, it's I think all the vices captured in a bottle. And the bottle looks like so. You actually had the opportunity, which I didn't want to actually, because it's not very positively looked at in the United Arab Emirates, and I don't know if it would cleared customs, etc. There's a lot of things involved here. It has a phallic cap. Believe it or not, it has a phallic cap. And these are actually all the vices captured in a bottle. It's probably one of the skankiest, dirtiest, animalic, musky kind of affairs that you can have. I mean, I sprayed this on, and I can smell myself, and I love the smell of that. No, no, I'm joking. I love the smell of the raunchy animalics. It's kind of I'm not sure. It is teetering on the gourmand kind of territory. I get a little tobacco-ish kind of nuances that could also be attributed to the use of honey heavy-handedly, and the way you use certain other notes in perfumery that can create a tobacco like nuance basically. This one is really raunchy, wild ass animalic kind of musky fragrance. I'm enjoying myself just wearing it in my own space. I'm not sure if other people would appreciate it, because there was a time when I tried it in one of the shops. It's selling in one of the shops here without the phallic caps though. Nobody has the phallic caps here. But so I tried it in the shop, uh, and the first time I tried it, how do I say it? The advisor in the boutique kind of took two steps back. He's like, that smells dirty, and I was like, whoa, this smells like. I mean, I liked it. So yeah, Sadanaso coming up soon. Hopefully, many more Nazamatos coming up, because I've acquired about 6 of Nazamatos. So I do have a backup bottle and a bottle of Pardon. I have, I think that's the only one I have a backup bottle of, because I love Pardon. I love Heritage by Guerlain. I like Danger pour Homme for Parfum. Danger Parfum Cologne by Roja Parfums. I have Guerlain Heritage in the newer format. And so Pardon is kind of homage to, I think, Guerlain Heritage, but the chocolate cakey patchouli is intensified. The experience that I like from Pardon, and so that's the only perfume from Nazamato that I have back a bottle of. I have Absinthe, which I love. I'd love to have a back a bottle of Absinthe. I have Black Afghano. I'm kind of done with Black Afghano. It's been a long time, and then I had a lot of other perfumes that I've done with that cannabis, hashish kind of note. And I'm enjoying some of the fragrances, other fragrances more, which I've done reviews on. Like, say, for example, Fragrance du Bois, you have Cannabis Intense and Cannabis Blue. And in my review, I did say that the names could be changed around. I mean, Cannabis Blue is more intense than Cannabis Intense, if that makes sense, from Fragrance du Bois. Both those are beautiful cannabis fragrances. Earlier back in the day, when Black Afghano came out, Suspiro came out with Afghano Puro, and that kind of scratched the same kind of itch. But so it's done and dusted for me. I'm more into the other fragrances. I do have a bottle of Black Afghano for a long time, but I've seen myself reach out very rarely. I mean, probably peak winters once in a year, twice in a year max, and I still have the bottle. I have another three, I suppose. So it's absinthe, pardon. Oh, absent pardon. I have Southern Nassau now. Absent pardon, Southern Nassau, Black Afghano. I have Duro, which is the woody leather kind of the fragrance. I have Baraonda. Baraonda is another one I want to back a bottle of. And so yeah, so I think I should be knocking off a few Nazamatos. As I was saying, I'm very heavily into Francesca Bianchi, and you know I love my darker juices, especially now that the winters are kind of knocking on the door. I wouldn't say it's winters. I wouldn't say it's cooler. I mean, it is cooler. It is cooler than it can be in the UAE. That's the dark side, which I do like. Again, the darker juices. I have the darker juices on one side, and then the lighter Black Knight. I have Encounter, Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers is your patchouli kind of the fragrance. Black Knight is your leather motorcycle, leather jacket kind of a fragrance that you enjoy in the winters. Lost in Heaven. Uh, Most of the Francesca Bianchi fragrances have a signature, as most of the reviewers have said. But I don't find any of the fragrances kind of redundant. That's the lover's tale. It's the raunchy, animalic kind of musky fragrance, if you will. We do have, which I should soon review, Le Oud by Tower Performs. So these are, that's my animalic shelf, if you will. Animal Mundane by the House of Pierre Guillaume. It's their tobacco fragrance with hay. I guess Immortel. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. That's the animalic patchouli fragrance from Jeroboam, and it's called Ligno. And it's an extrait, 30 ml bottle. But I think that should do. I sparingly use it. There's one that I have yet to get my head around. Black Gemstone by the House of Stefan Ambert Luca. And the reason I say I need to get my head around this is it's just kind of out of the world like fragrance, and I haven't smelled anything with that kind. I think I got disconnected. I'm not sure. So we got Ohira. I think it's Ohira. Yeah, it is. Ohira, that's an amber fragrance. I think it's referenced as having a resin, amber resin, that's 30 million years old. Although I believe amber is an accord that's created with different notes, say for example benzoin, I think labdanum. Please don't quote me if I'm wrong on this. I'm not a perfumer, but I think there are a few notes that you can combine to create that amber accord: vanilla, benzoin, labdanum. I'm forgetting one. I'm sure it's one of the resins. I'm completely skipping it. Mortal Kombat. Oh, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Skin. Mortal Skin by Stefan Humbert Luca. I'm kind of mild on that one. I'm not really a big fan of Mortal Skin. Oh yeah, so I was saying Francesca Bianchi fragrances do have a DNA kind of a signature, if you will. Francesca Bianchi, all over her fragrances, she uses iris, orris butter so brilliantly in all her compositions. But I had a few reviewers say that if you have one, you have them all. You don't need to, and they basically preferences towards other houses. I do like the Francesca Bianchi line, and I very conservatively started my collection with about 6 of her fragrances, and I do love all of them individually. They have their own personality, and it's every nose to themselves. They're right. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I have mine. That's Ruard by the House of Perfume Dampere, and that's the animalic oud horse barnyard kind of a fragrance, if you will. It smells exactly like where you put your horses in, like the stables where they have the food, they have the fodder. They're shitting around. A lot of things going on in the horse stables. Yeah, that's Tango by Milano, another animalic amber, and I love this one though. I wouldn't mind having a 100 ml bottle. Uh, I don't know when that would be, but yeah, well, I have a vintage bottle of Dior pour Homme. Um, I'm not too big into batch numbers and shit, but yeah, that's one of the older bottles because I had about three of them, two of them which I've used, disposed, and one of them very little remaining. But then I've used it so often that I don't reach for it much nowadays. Rien, incense, intense, incense, either ways. Uh, Again, an animalic kind of leathery incense fragrance, and one of my favorites. I will reach out for these more during the winter months. You have Saulage. I think I've done a review, and if I haven't, I'm already in the process of making my notes. And this is from Kajal Perfumes. And this kind of reminds me a little bit of Roger Fetish and Pure Distance M, also a fragrance that was made by Roger. And I covered the backstory of Pure Distance M and Roger Fetish in one of my fragrance reviews. You have Cafe Tabac that I should be reaching out during the winters. This is from a newer house that's Edas de Venustas, and they won the Olfaction Award. I think it was 2024 or 23 Olfaction Award. I don't know how the Olfaction Award works because the contender to the fragrance that won from the house of Edas de Venustas, Amnesia Rose. The contender to this was Eugene's fragrance, You Smells Good fame, the channel. And I think that deserved the spot more than I can say for Amnesia Rose. I don't know how the awards work, but well, that's what it is. Ronnie J. T. Habanero. That's again an animalic. Ronnie J. fragrances are on the slightly animalic side. Amber Loop and Amber animalic fragrance. The other one was a tobacco animalic kind of fragrance, and I love that. That's Oud Assam, also from the house of Ronnie J. Animalic Oud like. We do have psychedelic that I should be reaching out in the winters more often. I love psychedelic. Psychedelic is from the house of Joy. Is the chocolate cakey patchouli, and I keep my patchoulis together. So we have reminiscence patchouli, and this is the newer bottle. I think the older bottles, the juice went darker, or maybe it's just a maturation process. So you let some air into the bottle and kind of darkens up. Because I remember the older bottle that I had, the juice was much darker than. You have Vicanto, Mea Culpa. Mea Culpa is again one of the reference patchouli fragrances. I do like Mea Culpa. I'm not sure there are not very many fanboys of Histoire de Parfum. This one is 1740, and that is Marquis de Sade. So if you don't know about Marquis de Sade, my humble, I might cover it in one of the reviews that should be coming up soon to the channel. That's Oud Palau. That will remind you of Oud Ispahan by the house of Dior. This one's, I think, more oudi, less rosy. That one's more rosy, less oudi. I do layer these together to get the best of both the worlds. You have Hermes Gallop. That actually looks like the thing you sit on a horse on, that leather saddle, right? Hermes is known for their leathers. So this one has best of both worlds of Hermesance, Cure d'Ange. So the leather note comes from Cure d'Ange, which is a very delicate kind of that boutique style leather that Hermes is known for. And a lesser known fact to me, that like if even if you were wealthy as shit, you couldn't buy one of those high end luxury kind of the horse leathers, if you will. Like they have the house concentrates on making these leather goods, and they have these equestrian roots. You couldn't just walk into the shop and buy one of those high-end Ashton online leather goods, even maybe the baguette, if they call it. I think they call it the baguette. Like the bags and everything, you need to be a player in the game for a long time. You need to acquire a lot of things from Hermes to level up to where you can actually buy one of them higher end leather goods from Hermes. Crazy, I mean, really crazy. So yeah, so I was saying it has best of both the worlds. Okay, little did I know they have a fragrance called Rose Ikebana or Rose. Yeah, somewhere on that line. It is a kind of a rose that's again delicate and goes perfectly with the Hermesance lines. Hermesance is one of the brands. Hermes is one of the brands I appreciate, as they are not in kind of market. They don't have that kind of vision that Estee Lauder brands associated with Estee Lauder, or brands like Dior, Chanel, where they do listen to people and try to have these scents that sell well. Hermes doesn't give a shit. Hermes does their own thing. They go at their own pace. They'll release what they like. So this one has the rose Ikebana, or I'm not sure about the name, I'm forgetting right now. But it has that rose, and then the leather cord it has from Cure d'Ange. It's a parfum concentrate, and so yeah, I have that on the shelf. I have a perfume that I've talked about, and I did wear it to an outing. It's called Alkut. This is one of the privileged, much lesser available fragrances. They only make them about 150 bottles a year. It's their leather, animalic leather, civet, oud, castoreum. No, not castoreum. But I do get, I think, a little castoreum. I'm not sure. It's maybe my mind playing games. But then it has notes of violet, oud, leather, and civet. And there's a fifth note which I'm forgetting right now. But so yeah, it is rather animalic. You have Austere by the house of Electimus that I should reach out for the dressed up events during the winters. And I've acquired a fragrance that's kind of a weirdo. It's kind of a real weird fragrance. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, so I watched all these reviews. I watched all the reviewers say, don't go for the X-ray, go for the Eau de Parfum, Ganymede, and then for the other one, B683, go for the X-ray. But me being me, I went for the X-ray Ganymede first, and it's kind of a weird one. It has this sweaty kind of marine-like, aquatic. I'm not sure how to put it. I need probably more wearings out of it, but it was kind of a weird one. And now that we're into summers, it kind of developed into like body odor kind of something. Maybe it's just my nose playing things on me, but yeah. And this one, I keep getting wafts of Sadhana. So this one is going to be one of my favorites in the winters. It's dirty as heck. It's dirty as heck, and I'm going to wear the shit out of this. So I would want to be doing a review on this one soon. And I can compare it to one of the more natural, authentic Tonkin Deer Musk's kind of attars. The quality, Alessandro Gottieri, the perfumer and the owner of the brand, Orto Parisi and Nazamato. So Orto Parisi, I only acquired two. My most favorite one that I wanted to acquire was Turkus. That translates to sweet poop. And I think that's what the fragrance smells like. It has a little bit of oud. It smells chocolatey, but it does kind of give off that poopy kind of oud, if you will. I have Buccanera. Buccanera, I get a lot of chocolate and chili, and I do like Buccanera. So these are the two I wanted to acquire before dwelling deep deeper into the house of orthoparisi. A lot of videos, inshallah, hopefully reviews coming soon. Stay tuned, stay healthy, stay blessed, preserve life, uh, don't waste it. That's all I have to say. God bless you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I am closing in with kind of 8 viewers right now. I haven't got any comments, I think, or I'd like to think. I haven't seen anything scroll across the screen. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments, and I will try to answer them to the best of my capability. Until the next time, your host Karamullah Kadwani signing out. Peace. How do I stop recording this? Okay.